Seven Lakes, so that way you guys all know who we are. So take the time and introduce yourself to them, or if they're doing a good job, they'll introduce themselves to you. Patrick Seals is a visionary. He saw the potential in Seven Lakes Technologies and in our CEO, Shiva. And while at Lynn Energy, was very instrumental in giving Seven Lakes an opportunity to get very valuable experience in the oil and gas space. And now Patrick is the CIO at Brightburn Energy here in Houston. And so he's responsible for the design and implementation of all company-wide IT strategies and tactics at Brightburn.
You know, I just wanted to go, we're going to have a little art history lesson here, just do something different because you probably have never seen anything like this before. So what generates your data? Let's throw some paint around. Go ahead. This is Rembrandt's Night Watch, painted in over a 3-year period, and it's from 1639 to 1642, valued at about $30 million right now. The reason I show you this is, so this is indicative of, I'm impressed with just an immense amount of detail. I mean, when you correlate that over into the data world, it's, you know, 3 years to completion, which that could be a lot of ERP projects that we have these days, or it could be a spreadsheet that's been evolving for years. You know, lots of layers and queuing time, a spreadsheet that keeps evolving, you just keep adding tabs and keep bigger and bigger and bigger. Very intuitive, the detail is amazing. Once you get that spreadsheet built, it's awesome. But by the time you really finish it, in a lot of people's technology, it's already old news. You're basing a decision off of something that the books closed 6 months ago. Mark Rothko estimated at $50 million. This painting is actually, I think, about the size of this wall area right here. And you look at it and you're like, what the hell? I think I could paint that, you know, in an afternoon. Very impressive. Look how simple it is. So I equate this to a lot of vendors that would come in and go, oh man, we can do everything. Look how simple this is. It's just, give me $20 million in 6 weeks, and I'll implement this, and you can have all these cool little things that's going to make running your business easy. And because it's worth so much money, it's obviously got to have, we spent so much money, it's got to have a lot of stuff in there that's worthwhile. But I don't get it. It doesn't mean anything to me. And like I said, it's indicative of a lot of what people produce today to get you to buy something, but there's no meat, there's no architecture, there's no governance underneath. Yeah, so this is a transition from Baroque to Impressionistic, from Bach to Dorsey. This is just, I want to go through this quickly. We do all of these checkmark things. We've got daily operations that goes on. We've got processes where we're generating all these transactions. You've got QC process, you've got audit process. You're assimilating data for internal reporting, trends and metrics out the wazoo. You've got accountants and everybody that's analyzing data. Great, but what are you doing with all this data that you've spent millions of dollars and maybe weeks and months assimilating and putting together? How quickly are you using that data to make a decision? I think the one message from this is that what we got from the initial and all the dashboards at Lynn was operations and people outside of just the higher levels of finance and accounting had data at their disposal, even if it was a field pumper on his iPhone in the field looking at a downtime dashboard, making decisions on the spot. And this is, to me, especially from an operations standpoint or an accounting standpoint, very easy to look at. It's not only just appealing, but drill down capabilities, you get to see what you want. It's dynamic, it's mobile, it's iPad, it's iPhone, it's whatever you want. And you know, we get down to where we're spending less time extracting data, manipulating data, playing data, creating data, and actually using data. And the strategy behind all of this when Shiva first came in was, this is not just something for the accountants and the engineers who get into all this stuff. This is something for the CEO to come in and open up his dashboard and go, oh, I see we're on target today, and he can drill out to whatever level he wants to. One of the big things was we had all the applications that we really needed from a transactional standpoint at Lynn, but we'd have to train engineers on inertia, or I got to train them on ProCount, or I got to train them on how to do, you know, data extracts. With this model, we don't care where the data comes from. They're agnostic to what transactional system. I'm just pushing data. So I don't have to train them as much. They're self-serving. I don't have to buy as many licenses, so my software costs go down. And the one bad thing that it brought to light was that it exposes where you have some data issues. The assumption is most of your organizations have your transactional systems. You can close the books, you can do everything you need to do. There's some form of data cleansing and governing strategy in place. understanding, as we talked about in exposing gaps, that garbage in does not equal garbage out. Garbage in is probably garbage out squared, because you're not only producing bad data, but somebody's making a bad decision off that data, and then they're making another transaction that's based off of a bad decision, so it just keeps incrementally getting worse. You know, if you're going to do something like this, please, you know, give Seven Lakes or whoever your demo, and if you show your operations folks a field or a well that they can really relate to, it's amazing how much more than just some generic data. One of the biggest things is that getting this to work is getting somebody in your operations group to at least at Lynn to champion this and say, we got to have this, even though we don't know what it looks like. So our job was to tell me what you want. I'm going to provide the coffee and put the gas in the car. We're going to get up every day and we're going to keep looking at this until we come up with the dashboards and the tool sets that you need to make decisions, and you know, over a 5-year period implemented all those dashboards that you saw that are widely used.
I'm Savvy Murthy. I'm the marketing lead at Seven Lakes. Really excited to be here. I wanted to start off by asking, you know, Patrick, I was looking at your slides. I had the preview of looking at it before it showed up here. And the numbers are impressive, right? To be standing on this side of the fence where you've delivered those numbers, where your users are actually using those reports, and you be able to do that impressive part. There are a lot of things that happen to get there. What was the most surprising roadblocks along the way that you had to get past, that were either technology or process or finance, whatever they may be? What do you recall having stood in your way?
We're going to have some stations for some demonstrations of some of the applications that Brett was talking about today, and feel free to mingle. Y'all can stop being quiet now too.